I'm a big fan of Hall of Highlights. Please click the subscribe button and hit the bell for daily entertainment.
On October 6, 1993, Michael Jordan, arguably the greatest basketball player of all time, announced his retirement from the NBA at just 30 years old. The news sent shockwaves through the sports world. At the time, Jordan had just won 3 consecutive NBA championships with the Chicago Bulls and was at the peak of his career. No one saw it coming, but Jordan's decision was deeply personal. His father, James Jordan, had been tragically murdered just months earlier, and the emotional toll on Jordan was immense. In his retirement press conference, Jordan cited a loss of desire to play basketball and a need to step away from the game. His next move was even more surprising. He pursued a career in professional baseball, signing a contract with the Chicago White Sox and playing in the minor leagues. Jordan's retirement was short-lived. After 17 months away, he made his legendary return in 1995 with a simple 2-word fax message: "I'm back." He went on to win 3 more NBA championships, cementing his legacy as the greatest of all time. But his first retirement remains one of the most shocking moments in sports history, proving that even the best can walk away unexpectedly. Barry Sanders was the most electrifying running back in NFL history, a player with unmatched agility, vision, and explosiveness. By 1998, he was just 1,457 yards away from breaking the all-time rushing record. But then, in July 1999, Sanders did the unthinkable. He retired at the age of 31, shocking the football world. There was no farewell tour, no press conference, just a fax sent to a local newspaper announcing his decision. Fans, teammates, and even coaches were blindsided. Many speculated that Sanders had grown frustrated with the Detroit Lions' inability to build a winning team, while others believed he simply lost his love for the game. Unlike other athletes who later returned, Barry Sanders never played another down in the NFL. He left the game at his peak, finishing with 15,269 career rushing yards, and many still wonder how much more he could have accomplished. His shocking retirement is one of the biggest what-ifs in sports history. Few athletes have dominated their sport the way Serena Williams did in tennis. With 23 Grand Slam singles titles, she was the undisputed queen of the game. For over 2 decades, she redefined what was possible in women's tennis, breaking records and barriers. But in August 2022, Serena shocked the world by announcing her retirement from professional tennis. Unlike some athletes who fade out due to injuries or declining performance, Serena was still highly competitive, even reaching the US Open final in 2018 and 2019. In an emotional essay for Vogue, she explained that she was evolving away from tennis to focus on family, business ventures, and personal growth. Her final tournament at the 2022 US Open was an emotional roller coaster. Fans packed the stadium, chanting her name, knowing they were witnessing the end of an era. Even after her retirement, Serena's impact on tennis continues, inspiring a new generation of players. Her decision to walk away at the height of her career remains one of the most surprising and talked about retirements in modern sports. In 2019, at just 29 years old, Andrew Luck, the star quarterback of the Indianapolis Colts, announced his retirement from the NFL. The news was so shocking that fans booed him off the field when it broke during a preseason game. Luck was supposed to be the Colts' franchise quarterback for the next decade. He had already been named to 4 Pro Bowls and had led the team to the playoffs multiple times. However, Luck's career had been plagued by constant injuries: torn cartilage, a lacerated kidney, and multiple concussions. The toll on his body and mind became too much. In his press conference, he explained that he was in constant pain and had lost his love for football. Most quarterbacks don't retire at 29, especially not ones considered MVP caliber talents. Luck's retirement left the Colts scrambling for a replacement and stunned the entire NFL. Many believe he could have been a Hall of Famer had he continued playing. His shocking decision changed the landscape of the league and remains one of the most unexpected retirements in sports history. Rocky Marciano was the only heavyweight champion in boxing history to retire undefeated with a perfect 49-0 record. His brutal power, relentless conditioning, and warrior mentality made him a legend. In the 1950s, he dominated the sport, defeating icons like Joe Louis, Jersey Joe Walcott, and Ezzard Charles. By 1955, Marciano was at the top of the boxing world. But in April 1956, at just 31 years old, he shocked the world by retiring. Fans and experts couldn't believe it. Marciano was still in his prime and could have easily gone for a 50-0 record. Marciano explained that he wanted to retire healthy and spend more time with his family. Unlike many boxers who returned, Marciano never fought again, preserving his legendary undefeated status. His shocking retirement left fans wondering what could have been had he continued fighting. Bjorn Borg was one of the greatest tennis players of his era, winning 11 Grand Slam titles by the age of 26. His icy composure, unmatched endurance, and legendary rivalry with John McEnroe defined an era of tennis. But in 1983, at just 26 years old, Borg announced his retirement, leaving the tennis world in complete shock. His departure was unexpected because Borg was still at the top of his game. Many speculated that he had simply burned out, exhausted by the relentless demands of professional tennis. Though he attempted a comeback years later, he was never the same. His shocking early retirement remains one of the biggest what-if moments in sports history.